If you want to try multi-grafting at home, so this is not a technique for experts. This is a technique for home gardeners who actually want to have a go.
Yes!
So the first thing we need to do with this tree is we need to cut out all the dead wood. So I'm just going to cut it back to the healthy part of the tree. I'll start by leaving the tall living bit, but I might even want to take that back. We'll have a look at it once we've taken the dead wood out. So you can see this already looks better. I've got a little bit of leaf miner so I can take the tips out where there's damaged growth. This will actually push from here, so I'm going to get some vigorous new growth. I might want to take back this gangly wood so I get new growth from down here rather than encouraging this tall growth. But the other thing I have here is a rootstock shoot. Now normally I'd say take that off, you don't want to keep your rootstock. But what we're going to do is we're going to create a multi-grafted tree. So in this case we have a small backyard and we want to grow a couple of different varieties on this one tree. So we're going to have a go at grafting onto this rootstock. So I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to cut off these very nasty thorns to make it easy to work with. And I'm going to select a bit of wood where I can actually cut into it. So if I go down low here, it might be a bit hard to work with. So I'm going to start grafting from about here so I can have a pomelo and a Tahitian lime on my one plant. Now the reason I cut off the thorns is it makes the wood easy to handle. I'm not going to hurt myself when I'm actually cutting. And the only tools I need is a bit of grafting tape, so that's florist tape. I've got some scion wood which I got from my friend, and I've actually already prepared that scion wood. So I use a different type of florist tape, which is this, and the difference is it's thinner. So this is green florist tape and it's quite thin. And just wrap the bud with that, and what that does is it keeps the bud moist and it stops it from drying out and desiccating. So that's the reason we wrap those. And this is a top graft. So there's a couple of ways you can graft citrus. You can bud graft, where you take out that one bud and you attach it on here. Or we're going to try a top graft. So I'm just going to try and rework this up here and see what happens. The only other thing I need is a grafting knife, which is a very sharp knife. So it needs to be well maintained, your grafting knife. Prepare my bit of grafting tape. You just double it over. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut my scion. So you just want a nice, neat, pointed cut. And then I need to cut the rootstock so that it fits the scion. So I want to actually match the cambium layers. And it should fit in there quite neatly. So you can see that those sides line up, and then I tape it together. Make sure the top is really well sealed, so that's the most important part of your wrapping, and that it's wrapped from the bottom to the top. So there you go. I'm not an expert grafter. It certainly is something that you can have a go at. Try this at home. You only need a sharp knife and some florist tape and a bit of practice. So if you want to start practicing with something that's easy to cut, try on your tomatoes because they're actually really easy to cut. Practice your cut and then have a go on your citrus because you really can't go wrong. If this doesn't take, it doesn't matter. I can actually just cut it down and try again. Now we're going to fast forward 3 months and I'm just going to show you how my citrus grafting went. So if you remember, I put a scion or a piece of Tahitian lime on a bit of rootstock that was shooting to give myself a multi-grafted citrus. And it's one way that you can learn new techniques in your garden, and it's also a great way to grow lots of fruit in small spaces. So here's my graft, and you can see that it's been successful. So my Tahitian lime is growing and the grafting tape is split. So it's time to take this tape off. So we're going to remove that. If you leave it on, you can get pests and diseases. It can harbour scale and insects. So it is best if you actually take it off once it's ready to go. And you can see that's actually quite a successful graft. So I'm pretty happy with that. And we now have a multi-grafted citrus with a bit of Tahitian lime and a Carter's red pomelo.